Angry Mgtow here. Today we're looking at a video where guys ask girls what they want. Ladies, can't you just make your minds up already? Alrighty, so let's go ahead and jump into the video and see what all the hoo-ha is about. Let's go ahead and jump on in, shall we?
I'm just joined here on St. Kilda Beach with...
Oh my god, no, I don't want to do it.
Okay, we won't say your name. With friend.
Yeah.
One and friend number 2.
Carly.
Hi, how are you? That's good, I'm good. We're just filming like a interview. Is that cool if I ask you one question?
It depends what the question is.
Okay, you don't have to answer it. So, I don't think it's full on, but there's a vulgar.
These girls are really pretty, aren't they? Some of them are really pretty. The girl on the left, the brunette, she seems like she's actually more into him than the blonde is. I don't know. Sure, she's at least curious. So let's keep watching.
Warning. Okay, so I'm joined here with
Steph,
nice to meet you. I'm Adrian. Do you think I could ask you like one quick question for camera? It's like we're doing an interview.
Sure.
I'm joined here with
Olympia.
Hello.
Hi.
What was your name? Sammy and
Angelique.
Are you sisters?
No. Friends.
Okay. Today we're just asking girls, when it comes to guys, like, and their preference,
I always find it interesting. So girls get so like finicky if a guy sees them in their underwear and then they wear things like this to the beach. And I'm not like slut shaming, but like, okay, you're wearing a bikini and like you can see everything. And you know, like the screen I'm using, like for example, if I move it up a little, you can see like, you know, it's a bikini. So she's wearing a bikini and you know, both of them are wearing bikinis. They're very beautiful girls. But, you know, why is it that you're wearing a bikini, but, you know, if a guy sees you in underwear, it's such a problem? It's funny how women think. And I know they're going to say, it's about consent. But I always find that point pretty damn odd when it comes to women.
do you prefer a guy with a circumcised penis or uncut? We're just asking, like...
Now, here's my thing about that. The whole thing between a guy who has a circumcised penis and a girl versus uncircumcised, I don't think that women should really be able to have that type of preference. And here's my reasoning behind that. Could you imagine, you know, a guy saying the difference between a woman with a large clitoris or no clitoris, or a difference between a girl with lots of labia versus no labia? I mean, like, there are women who are now going and getting labiaplasty, getting parts of their labias removed for vanity. I just think that's kind of crazy. I mean, you're getting parts of your labia removed for vanity, so I mean, it's no surprise that, you know, that they basically see having, you know, men having parts of their penis chopped off is completely acceptable. The difference, though, is that women consent to that. It's actually a crime in pretty much every state in the United States. It's a crime in all 50 states for a woman or a female to have any part of her vagina cut unless they have her consent. There is a law against it. Yeah. But it is common practice in America to snip the tip of a little boy's penises off. And it's actually crazy because I remember I was doing a video with nearly viral with what the heck are they called? So basically another YouTube channel, and they're in England, and you know, I was talking to them on the podcast, and one of them said, "Wait, you're not circumcised?" And I said no. And it was really crazy because they go, wow, well, I thought all of you were circumcised over there. It's sad because pretty much everyone is. Like, I'm the only boy in my entire family not circumcised, and I was smart enough to like resist it, fight over it, and that's why I did not end up getting circumcised. But I don't know. It's just like, what the heck? It's just like literally what the heck when it comes down to the whole thing about we're gonna circumcise boys, and women basically say, you know, it's clean. They're gonna say it's cleaner. I like a circumcised penis because it's cleaner. But I don't think that women should have the right to judge a man's genitals. I don't think a woman should have the right to say. I mean, it's up to her if she says, I don't want to have sex with a guy because I don't like the way his penis looks, or, you know, I don't. That's her business. But to literally say, you know, men suggest that men should have their, you know, be circumcised is absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I think it's evil. I mean, there's so many nerve endings in the in the actual foreskin. Something is that a study that I read actually found that men who have circumcised penises versus men who don't have circumcised penises have different kinds of sex. You're gonna say, what? Men who are uncircumcised have slower, more steady, rhythmic sex. Men who are uncircumcised have steady, more rhythmic sex. So basically, they find a rhythm, and the sex is actually slower. It's calmer. It's even, I think, even gentler. Men who are circumcised, they have harder sex, rougher sex, and they trust deeper. They're constantly doing this to basically feel as much pleasure and sensation as they possibly can, because they lose a lot of that sensation when the nerve endings are cut. Don't forget that when a penis is circumcised, it doesn't just affect the foreskin; it also affects the head of the penis. The head of the penis develops a hardened layer of skin over it, which significantly reduces sensation to it. I'm not circumcised, and I will already say, like, my penis is like just not that sensitive. Like, I'm really not that sensitive. Even like the head of my dick is not that sensitive. So like, I'm like, I get like frightened by the idea of being circumcised, because like I probably would not be able to feel sex. Like sex, I honestly don't feel sex very much. When I've had sex and I'm not circumcised, I still have to, like, you know, it takes a while for me to like really get into it, because I'm just not that sensitive down there. And then there are some guys who are circumcised, they have like literally no sensation. And I remember a guy in the Mgtow community, he was complaining to me, like, he's saying, I have no sensation in my dick at all. And his mother's a doctor. Both of his parents were doctors, and both of his parents are doctors. And it's like crazy, because they should have known the effects that it would have had on a little boy to do that, but they didn't care. And he complains to his mother, who he has to take care of now because both of his sisters left and went off to go be with their men. They basically took off, and he's there taking care of his mother, who is a doctor, formerly a doctor, but she's like old and she has like a back problem, so she's like crippled, and it's crazy. And I'm just like scratching my head, like, women don't even think about the fact, like, men who have a circumcised penis also are more likely to develop erectile dysfunction when they get older. Yeah, there are higher rates of erectile dysfunction when men get older when they're circumcised. They don't tell parents about this. They don't say, okay, well, they basically say, oh, there are no adverse risks, so, oh yeah, it'll work just fine. But they don't say there is chances are higher that they will have erectile dysfunction later in life if they are circumcised. They don't mention that. They don't mention any of the things that happen, that are found, the negative effects of circumcision. They also don't mention the fact that some children will also be over-circumcised, and over-circumcision can make sex very, very painful, if not impossible entirely. In fact, there are for every so many circumcisions, there will be one baby boy that has to have his penis amputated because of a botched circumcision in the United States. And here we are watching a video where they're casually asking girls, do you prefer uncircumcised or circumcised? Like, you can basically have it all. Like, this is the problem with women today. Like, they think that they can literally have designer men. They say, stop objectifying me. Don't look at my body. Don't look at my curves. Don't this, don't that. Don't complain if I have underarm hair. Don't complain if I don't shave my genitals. Don't complain if I put on a little bit of weight or a lot of weight, or if I'm 300 pounds. You better still treat me like I look like a supermodel. Don't this, don't that. But then they talk about our bodies like they can basically pick and choose what they want. Oh, I don't like this. You should get rid of it. Like, literally cut something off. It's like cutting off an appendage. Seriously. It's just downright sickening, but this is American women.
With guys, do you prefer circumcised or uncut? Do you prefer a guy with a circumcised penis or uncut?
Circumcised.
And why is that?
It's just better.
Does it feel better, or?
It's just cleaner.
So it's funny because like none of these girls are really saying that it feels better. They can't really tell. Honestly, there are a lot of girls who actually say that they prefer uncircumcised. But do you hear what she says? It just looks better. It's cleaner. It's cleaner. Like, it's so sad to think that we live in a country where little boys are told something is wrong with your dick, something is wrong with your penis if you don't have the tip of it cut off. Like, it is heartbreaking to think about how men are destroyed and how our lives are cut apart. And it's like, listen to the cheerful video with the cheerful music, and she's laughing like it's funny. But it's really harsh. It's really harsh. And there's no such thing as consent for men. And then the doctors, they push this crap because, their dicks are circumcised. They've been circumcised as babies, so they say, oh, they want the babies to look just like them. It's a tribalistic practice, which is something that was started out with Judaism. And here's the funny thing: when it comes to Judaism, God told the Jews, stop circumcising. He said, they asked for something, and he said circumcise yourselves. Then they began doing it as a ritualistic practice, and then afterwards, biblically it says God told them, okay, circumcise your hearts, because the gesture of circumcision was actually to teach them to, essentially it was literally to teach them to open up their hearts. When he said circumcise themselves, and they basically started doing it systematically as a ritualistic practice that basically showed that they were special and chosen by God, which was not that. It was just essentially he was trying to tell them to open their hearts, and they didn't get it. And then he claimed told them straight out, you need to circumcise your hearts. You need to remove the layer of skin, hatred, and anger over your hearts. It's just painful. The very practice of circumcision is something that technically should no longer be happening among people of Jewish faith. But again, it's a Jewish custom that was adopted in the West, and you have to question why it's still being done, because it has no purpose whatsoever, and it is hideous and hurtful and harmful to young men.
It's just cleaner.
It just looks better. It looks better.
It looks better.
Circumcised looks better.
You don't think so?
No, because it's easier to give a hand job when they've got skin there. There's so much more movement. It's there, look at you, and it's like, I'm here.
Hey, can I see? Is it beatboxer in French?
Depends.
No.
Like, who is this guy? He's like, hey, can I see? What's up, man? What are you doing, bro? I just want to get in here real quick. My name is DJ. My name is DJ OK, and I just want to special shout out to the ladies. Like, seriously, dude, what are you doing? Get out of here. Shoot! But you know what's funny? The girl on the left, the brunette, she says actually it's better when they have a bit of skin. It's easier to give them a hand job. She says it's easier to give them a hand job when they have a bit of skin versus when they don't have any skin. It's like you're just ripping at you're ripping at their penis. Seriously, because you have to use lubrication. It's, again, there's so many problems that happen when a guy does not have skin. If a guy does not have skin, like I said, if he's over circumcised, it's a serious problem. It can literally become a health risk, and sometimes he has to have like a second surgery when he gets older. It can make it very, very painful when he has an erection. There's so many things that happen bad things that happen as a result of being circumcised. And the whole thing about it preventing AIDS is another lie that they tell, because the statistics, the actual tests that they've been using, when they look at them and they control for certain factors, the actual proof that circumcision prevents HIV is not true. It's like it completely vanishes. Completely vanishes.
Right now, not right now. Give us 2 minutes. We're just filming. Yeah, yeah. So you don't mind?
No, yeah, I don't mind, but like it's,
Yeah, but, like,
it's
I'm not
scary
fussy.
when they're circumcised. Just looking at you.
But like, I'm not fussy, but like, preference circumcised.
Like, did you hear what she said? She said it's scary when they're circumcised, because she said it's like it's looking at you. Like, I remember a woman telling me that once. She lived in Europe, and she said that it doesn't look natural. She said that a circumcised penis does not look natural. It looks like something is missing. Just like it's like an eye staring at you. It's like, and I can understand that, because it doesn't look natural. A circumcised penis, to Americans, they say it looks natural because it's been popularized, but it looks raw. Like, seriously, it's chopped up. It's literally chopped up. You have something, a body part that has been chopped up, and they're like, oh, that's so awesome, that's so great. I mean, I completely disagree.
Do you prefer a guy with a circumcised penis or uncut?
Circumcised, I guess.
Why?
Because it's cleaner.
I mean, this propaganda just keeps going. They keep thinking it's cleaner, it's cleaner, it's cleaner. It's not cleaner, okay? I mean, it's like literally just like a woman's vagina. Women have to keep themselves clean. The penis, actually, the head of the penis, there's actually microbacteria that forms under the skin. It helps to protect the penis and keep it lubricated.
Okay. But what if this dude with a uncut penis cleans it? Like, real, he uses like Head and Shoulders and shit.
Head and Shoulders in your penis. That's weird, but it looks.
You got to take into account this guy might have a bush.
Yeah, I think uncut, definitely. Yep, that's my personal preference.
Okay, and why is that?
Why not?
Apparently, the last girl said it was dirty.
Oh, really? Well, clearly those guys haven't been washing very well, have they? So I think that's their problem rather than her problem.
I don't know. I just don't really take much notice.
Like, in America, every girl is gonna say, "Oh, circumcised." In Europe, it's gonna vary, because some girls that have seen are used to seeing uncut, others are used to seeing circumcised. Again, it's not a common practice, and it's not as common, and it's a practice that's beginning to die down. It's a practice that's beginning to become less and less as time passes.
You don't take much notice, so it's not a big deal for you.
No.
You have not, like, so you would not, like, you know. Yeah, okay, that's cool. That's fair enough. You have no preference. What about you, Carly?
Probably circumcised. I don't know.
It doesn't bother me. Yeah, it doesn't bother
Okay,
me.
that's good.
Yeah, it's not really. Yeah,
It's not something you.
it depends on the guy and how they take care of themselves.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't like circumcised.
Okay, and why is that?
Looks a bit like an alien.
I mean, first off, I gotta say, this girl's shirt. Like, this girl's shirt is like, whoa. This girl's shirt is like, whoa. But, I mean, yeah, she says she doesn't like circumcised. It looks like an alien. Like, seriously, it's like, imagine, like, cutting away flesh off the vagina. People would say, what the heck? Like, what are you looking at? It doesn't look natural. That's like, but American women are so narcissistic that they basically think, oh, it's about me. It's all about me. It's all about me. I can have it any way I like it.
Looks like an alien.
It just like stares at you.
Oh wow, you're like the second girl that said that.
Like, look at it's just all there.
Yeah.
Like I said, like that's what some girl said to me. She said it looks like an eye. Like, it doesn't look natural, you know. And it makes sense too. I mean, like, what is so ugly about a penis that's covered? Think about it. When you have foreskin, the penis is covered by skin, so that looks weird. The penis being covered by foreskin, that looks weird. but having the head of the penis showing, that does not all the time, that does not look weird. Like, I scratch my head on that. But then again, part of it is pornography, because remember, in porn, all the guys in porn are circumcised. It's pretty much almost every single guy in porn is circumcised. So women watch lots of porn, even though, you know, it was never talked about before. Women watch lots and lots and lots of porn. I mean, many of them outright say, I'm watching porn right now. I'm on Pornhub right now. They watch porn, they enjoy porn, they masturbate to porn. So they, you know, naturally, what they see in pornography is the standards that they set. They basically see circumcised penises in pornography, so they say, oh, all penises must be circumcised. I mean, it's the very same thing with foreskin. Not with foreskin. It's the very same thing with shaving your genitals. Back in the 70s, you know, you typically, our 60s, you didn't shave. Women didn't shave. Men and women did not shave their genitals. It became popularized in porn to help cut down on the spreading of like crabs and other things. They began shaving the pubic hair off. People saw pubic hair disappearing in porn, so they started thinking, oh, that's what it's supposed to look like. My genitals are supposed to be completely shaved off. So they basically started shaving their genitals off just like they saw in porn. I mean, that's something that we really have to do something. This is a conversation that we have to have in America, that porn is kind of messing up our lives, because people naturally are not supposed to be using porn to, you know, dictate relationships. People watch porn and they think that everyone has sex like a porn star. Here's the funny thing about having sex. Like, when you're having sex, there's smells, there's all kinds of things, you know. You have another human being with you. It's different. There's considerations that have to be made. Sometimes you might go from a certain angle and you might tell her, she might say stop, or you might say stop because it starts to hurt. You know, you actually have to listen to the other person. It's not just like you can just grab someone and start having rough sex like you see in pornography. Pull my hair, it doesn't work like that. The stuff that we see in porn is so unnatural. It is so unnatural. It's not how human beings connect with each other. It's not how human beings relate to each other. I mean, we are human beings. It's like, I have to admit that porn is devastating in that sense, because it's a flash of body parts and erotica. But here's the thing, like when you're having sex with a woman, a lot of the time you're not like staring deep into her vagina like with pornography. Like, you don't get these angles. You don't have that hindsight. I mean, if you go down on her, then sure, you'll be looking at her vagina. Even then, when you're looking at her vagina, it looks different. Like, looking at a vagina in porn and looking at a vagina in real life, it's like two very different experiences, at least for me, because again, it's like, you know, it doesn't look like that in porn. It's not perfect this or that. I mean, there are beautiful girls out there, very beautiful girls out there, but again, it's different. We're human beings. You know, not every penis is going to be huge, and again, we're all humans. We come in different shapes and sizes. And a lot of women don't understand that. I mean, they talk about objectification, and then they say they want men who look like this. That you have to be at least 6'2", 6'3". You have to have abs, but don't be too ripped, because then that's disgusting. Don't be too muscular, but be fit. And you know, your penis, it should be long, but it also should have a good amount of girth. I'm like, what? And you should be circumcised. Like, what? Like, you are losing your mind. You guys are losing your mind. Like, no wonder so many guys are going Mgtow when women have these ridiculous demands and imaginations of what constitutes an acceptable man, and his body looking like, you know, being the ideal of what they prefer and what they should accept. No, I just can't get behind that.
Plus, I feel like I'm gonna rip their dick off.
Oh shit.
Because there's nothing to move with.
Yeah, no.
So you can tell this girl has some sense. Like she said, I feel like I'm going to rip their penis off because there's nothing to move it with. It's unnatural. It is really, it hurt. Like, it can hurt. It can really hurt. You know, the urethra is like right there. Again, foreskin is really necessary. it's unnatural. It doesn't look normal. It doesn't feel normal. And it doesn't and you're not interacting with a woman's vagina properly. Here's the thing about that. When a man has sex with a woman, foreskin also rubs the insides of her vagina. That's something that you have to talk about. We don't talk about that. Foreskin also rubs the insides of her vagina, and there are also ripples in foreskin as well. Yeah, our foreskin has ripples, which can actually stimulate the vagina better. But when you remove the foreskin, you end up with it's smoother, obviously, because you only have like the shaft. But think about that; it's just going in and out, sliding in and out. I mean, there's no. It takes away from both the stimulation for the guy and for the girl.
No kidding. Okay, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's like restricted.
Yeah. Do you think it feels better? Like,
I wouldn't notice. I've never slept with someone who is circumcised.
Wow. Okay, so she's had a relationship with. She's obviously seen circumcised penises. She's obviously dealt with them, but she has not had sex with a guy. So they're different women. Like it depends. Something is wrong with America. Like I said, we say all women are like that, but again, like as you can see, like there are places in Europe where women are like, yeah, I'm not down with that. I don't, they actually use common sense. I think that a lot of the problem, one of the reasons why we say all women are like that is because we are so used to, a lot of women in America, basically, they have no sympathy for men. They don't think about men. They see objects.
oh wow, interesting. So how many people have you slept with?
It's none of your business. Nah, not too many.
Okay.
About
okay.
7, maybe.
Oh, yeah, that's not too many.
So she's been with 7 guys. She's not a slut, but that's a decent amount of guys. And of all the guys that she's been with, she's only had sex with uncircumcised guys. So she's obviously doing it on purpose. It doesn't look natural to her. It doesn't feel natural to her. And I think that she's probably afraid of them. And it makes perfect sense. So that's actually kind of interesting. So there are actually women out there who will choose not to have sex with a guy who has a circumcised penis. And like I said, I've heard that before. I remember a woman in Europe, she told me like she didn't like them. They looked unnatural to her. They just didn't look right. This girl, she said she doesn't like the look of them because it's like staring at you. Again, it doesn't look natural. It doesn't look natural, nor does it feel natural. And she's not having sex with guys who are circumcised. And that's unfortunate because, the guys who are circumcised, they never had a choice in the matter. And the sad thing is they're going to end up going and circumcising their sons as well, probably.
Average, yeah.
Yeah. So can I get your number?
I would say yes, but I'm in a relationship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. Maybe next time.
She was really a sweet girl. That was a really sweet girl at the end. He was falling in love. He fell in love. Because I don't think he's circumcised. I think he comes across like he's uncircumcised. And he absolutely fell in love with her because she was so open-minded. And she was like somewhat defensive towards guys. Like, you shouldn't be cutting guys. Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't look normal. So, I mean, if that does restore any faith in guys, that there are some girls, there are women out there who disagree as well. And, again, it's the narcissism of American women. I mean, we've had so many generations of American women who have been programmed by this. I mean, it started out with the baby boomer women. Before baby boomer women weren't like this. Keep in mind that the first generation of feminists, these so-called women the suffragettes, this was a specific group of women. Most women back then were not trying to get the right to vote. They didn't even want it. It was a specific group of women that wanted to be equal to men. A small group of women who thought that they could be equal to men by getting the right to vote. And then, I mean, it's always been a fringe group of women who've been pushing this, and other women just kind of sit by and they allow these things to happen. And a lot of these so-called fringe groups of women, they've been backed up by rich and powerful men that realize that these women are dividing society. So they help empower them. They help fund their purpose. They help give them resources so that they can push further into dividing men and women. And I mean, I have to admit, it's an unfortunate thing, but it's something that we're seeing more and more of, and it's been happening in society. But again, I don't think, as I watch more and more of these videos, as I look at these further, I undoubtedly say that many women are narcissistic today, but I'm beginning to think that a lot of it is what they've been learned and what they've learned and what they've been taught. So, you know, we talk about their female nature is real. Female nature does exist, but the idea that women are evil, are inherently bad, or inherently want to hurt men, I don't think that's necessarily true. I think that it's what they've been taught by society and generations of women who have been taught that men, it's like they are special, they are better, they are superior. You know, it's been generation after generation after generation. And I think that with living in that propaganda, living in that nonsense, and then being told all of these things, that's why women are the way they are now. But I think that there are some women who have common sense, and that women who are empathetic, and women who actually do see that, you know, men are suffering and that this is not right what's happening to guys. A lot of women don't speak out on it, but I do think that there are women who are seeing it and waking up to it. And that does give me a little bit of hope for the future. I don't think anything's going to change in our lifetime, but although I do think there's going to be a lot of women, as things hit the fan, they're going to try to pretend like they actually care when they really don't. It's going to be like a state changing of skin. But out there, outside of the West, or in other places of the world, there are some women who do care, I think. So let me know what you think about that. Let me know, do you think that, are all women like that, or is it just that some women are like that, most women are like that, and is it more that society has caused women to become the way they are today? What do you think in the comment section? Let me know what you think about that. Also, don't forget that I am now on Patreon, and I try to make 3 of these videos every single day, and I have to upload them now. So plus I do bonus videos. So please consider heading over to my Patreon, clicking on the Patreon link on my YouTube homepage, or you can also find a link to my Patreon in the description of this video. And on my Patreon, there's all these incredible rewards. So for example, there's bonus videos, there are wallpapers. You can actually purchase Angry Mgtow t-shirts. If you send me a message on Patreon, I receive it instantly. So for example, if you send me a message, heck, if you even leave a comment, I get instant notification that someone just left a comment, someone just left a message. I get that instantly. And I'm able to respond to you, interact with you guys. And there's all these different rewards. So you can become a Patreon for as little as $5, $10, $30, whatever works for you. And again, there's all these different reward levels. Plus you get access to things such as t-shirts. You can get t-shirts on my Patreon. You can also see my goals list over there. So for example, at $100, we hit the $100 goal recently, so now t-shirts are available on Patreon. And if you're a Patreon, if you become a Patreon for $5, you have access to that. And for example, at $500, I will be releasing a Mgtow album where I will be singing different songs. Yeah, I'm going to be singing different songs for you guys. So that's going to be pretty awesome, and that'll be decided by like Patreon members. I'll set up some polls, get comments, and whatever songs you want me to sing, I will sing them. And I'm going to try to get it produced as well as I can. So I'm going to have a friend who is in the Mgtow community help me with that, and put together something really nice for you guys. I'm not promising I'm going to have great vocals, but I'm going to do my best to put together something really awesome. And again, there's all these great things on there, all these great features on Patreon. So definitely check it out. Definitely support me on Patreon. You can also make donations on Patreon using PayPal. So when you're using Patreon, you're actually making a pledge. So for example, you may pledge like $5 a month, and it basically it'll be a recurring $5 a month, or $10 a month, or $30, whatever you can afford. And again, if you can't afford Patreon, I completely understand, but most people can afford $5, and this helps to ensure I can continue to put out the quality content that I do on a daily basis for you guys, because I really work hard, and you know, I know this is entertainment for a lot of guys, and I want to make sure that quality remains up to par, and that I'm able to continue meeting my personal costs so that I can get the content out to you quickly and efficiently and constantly improve on it. So please definitely check out my Patreon. You can find the link on the YouTube homepage or in the link or a link to Patreon in the description of this video. Also, never miss another Angry Mgtow video by enabling notifications. You can just click on the notification button below any video. Click on the notification button, and then you'll see and it's next to the subscribe button, and you'll see a pop that says send me all notifications for this channel. When you do that, you will actually get notifications. You just have to check the box and hit save, and when you do that, you'll always get a notification whenever I'm live streaming or whenever I put out a brand new video. And there are people who've been getting unsubscribed from my channel. YouTube actually confirmed it recently, and for every one person that's unsubscribed, 2 get unsubscribed. So it's a bug that YouTube is working out. So what you guys should do is enable notifications. This way, even if you get unsubscribed, you will still get notifications. So it's definitely something you should do. Always enable notifications. If you've done it already, you don't have to do it again, but definitely do that. Let me know what you think. Do you think all women are like that, or do you think that it's because of the propaganda and the crap that women have been fed over multiple generations, why they are the way they are today, why they think the way they do today, and why society is the way it is today? Let me know what you think in the comments section. If you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to Mgtow or death. And cheers. You know, something funny happened yesterday. On one of my videos, I made a video saying Angry Mgtow channel closing, and with a question mark. And basically some people thought, oh, he's actually going to close the channel, which I wasn't. I was just explaining what was going on the channel. And Sandman, who does not, he like never really comments, because we have a big rivalry going right now. He leaves on that video, of course, he leaves a long and cheers, because basically on that video, he was like trying to celebrate like the potential closing of the channel. Yeah, I love you too, Sandy man. Alright guys, check you later. Angry Mgtow.